So turning the palms away from you, this is anatomical position, and we're externally rotating slightly the shoulders back so you can feel the collarbones begin to open across the whole structure of your shoulder girdle. And then see the bones of your shoulder girdle and arms as an extension of your heart. You can almost imagine that there's a bright green light in the center of your heart, an emerald green. And then around that emerald green, the beautiful pink of the most gorgeous rose you've ever seen. So just see that at your heart today. And then feel the head and the structure of the skull on the very top of your spine. So we move with this awareness of the whole entire skeleton. And then the blossoming of our own hearts, openness, compassion, love. Palms together at the center. So take Anjali Mudra, the mudra of reverence. We honor that, again, we're here on this planet, in this life, we all want to live, right? We all want to be here. So feeling that connection to being a part of it, this life today, this breath today. And then as you open your palms from your heart, reach up and overhead and stretch up as high as you can, feet to fingers through your bones. And then clasp your hands, interlocking your fingers, level your head, and point your index fingers to the sky. I know you guys probably can't see that, but I'm crossing my thumbs. The heels of my hands come together. My inner arms are plugging in tightly towards my ears and my skull, but my shoulder blades are cutting down. So I'm going to kind of slide them down your back. Little squeeze at the base of the bottom, and then a reach through the index fingers. And so it's steeple mudra. Take a nice long inhale again, feet to fingers, and then exhale, arc to the right, and just go slow. You don't have to do a big movement because we're going to do like 3 on each side. So let it just go to where your natural first position is without pressure. And then draw your arms back a little bit more. Lift up your heart a little bit more. Pull your belly button back a little bit more and lengthen out of your side ribs. Good. Now inhale, come back up to center. Keep that little squeeze in your booty, and then exhale, let's go to the left and see where that one takes us. So that initial okay, here we go. Opening up, spreading the upper back. So see if you can take your breath all the way up into your upper back, between your shoulder blades. So you're present to side body, front body, back body, feet. And now really connect into your legs. Like if your legs are like pillars and you squeeze all your energy through your legs, how does that help support this movement and its opening and blossoming? Good. Inhale, come back up to center. And then exhale, step your right foot out and turn your toes out. So we're in our goddess pose or horse pose. You can just do a little micro bend in your knee. Keep your arms above your head for now. My toes are slightly turned out. So I've got my right foot at let's say 2 o'clock and my left foot at 10 o'clock. And my knees need to go in the direction of that too. So I'm gonna pull back through my inner groins and my knees and then start to sit down into it. So just sit down into it as much as you can. Reconnect to the heels of your hands. I know this is a lot for your arms. And just pull up one more time through the arms and sit down long through your tailbone. You're gonna deepen into that hip crease. And then as you exhale, just open and cactus the arms out like a field goal. Shrug your shoulders down and just take the elbows back enough to where you feel like the front of your collarbones are broadening. Good, take a big breath into your heart space. It gets intense, I know, but we're warming up. We're brightening up, bright hands. Sink down a little more, open those knees. Good, inhale, stretch up. So you're gonna do what's called pentacle pose, or I like to say X marks the spot. This is where we are, right? X marks the spot. So feel that. You're brightening, you're like a starfish. And then as you exhale, take your right hand down to your right thigh. Look up to your left. And as you slide your right down, reach your left up. So it's like a little baby triangle, okay? So I'm still working, and where I feel it the most is where I'm tight, right around the tensor fasciata, just above the left hip bone. Okay, if you're like me and you get a little crampy, push more weight into your right foot. And that's going to help you lengthen out of the low back. Good, take a couple breaths. Every time we take these slower flows, we're building deeper endurance and connection to the temple of our body. So just be mindful that we may hold longer, but that doesn't mean you have to freeze frame the pose. You can turn your head, you can wobble a little bit, you can feel where your shoulders are in relationship to the rest. Inhale, X marks the spot. Exhale, left hand, left thigh. Right arm reaches up. Good, so we're sliding down as we reach up. Doesn't have to be a huge movement. It's more about connection. It's more about extending into space and at the same time, pressing into the earth. So there's this whole connect down to rise up, anchoring to brighten. It's that radiate principle. So you feel like your belly is radiating like the sun through all your corners and edges. And then inhale, come back up, reach pentacle pose. Exhale this left hand now to your right thigh. You can take your right arm behind you, like sweeper behind your back, and take your left hand to your right thigh and just bring it down. Slide it down the top of your leg. Just give yourself a little massage all the way down. And then maybe you just stop under your knee, or maybe go all the way to your ankle bone, or maybe you could touch the floor. You want to open up into your right groin. Still feel both feet connected, plugged into the earth. So we're going to twist this as much as we can comfortably. If you have a block handy and need to use it, you can always place your block on the inside of that left foot. And then rotate. Adjust. Let it feel good. So we're getting a little baby twisting triangle here. It's still early on. So take your time. No need to go 100%, maybe 70% of your efforts. Good. And then release, turn back, push into your feet, come back up and reach the arms to the sky. Good. Exhale, take the right hand now to the left thigh, left arm behind your back, slide it down. And again, just slide maybe to just under your knee. Feel your hips are going to push back towards the back end of your mat, and that's okay. Just slide and open. My trunk is actually leaning forward. We're not in the same line as our feet. So get intuitive with this. That means that you kind of bring your hand a little further out, weight differently into your feet, feel into your inner groins. We're stretching up from the inner kneecap all the way up to the inner groin pubis, and then letting that energy follow through the spine with a little twist. So connect to this kind of funky version of twisting triangle. Make it right for you. Good. And then lean into your feet so they can pressurize evenly. Inhale, stretch up, reach up, pentacle pose. Like a big starfish. Good. And now palms together. You're going to bend into the right knee. As we bend into the right knee, the left leg stays straight. So this is like the easy version, and many of you may want to stay here for this first one. If you want to come further, I'm going to suggest you just bring your fingertips to the floor first one. And if it feels good, you can kind of fold in from here and let your forehead come in, kind of drawing your chin towards your chest. Oh, that feels good on the inner thigh, doesn't it? So take another breath, kind of like a half squat on the right, and a deep fold through center. Then press both legs straight, walk the hands to center, and bend into the left, and you got the right leg now, strong. So you could be here, palms together, looking forward, kind of a half squat on the left, strong leg on the right, straight. Or fingertips on the floor, or maybe on your block. And so you're looking for where that perfect spot is. You're holding this strong, steady connection to that left knee bend. And it's helped to build that strength on your left hamstring, left quad. Breathe in, breathe out. Focusing your breath on where you need to push and where you need to pull, where you need to lengthen, where you need to deepen.
And then inhale, come back up through center. Both legs straight. All right, this is where it's gonna get fun. So we're gonna take something different. Take our body, pivot all the way to the right, and we're gonna go into pyramid pose to the right. Keep your left heel up behind you. You're turning to your right leg, framing it. If you cannot bring your left heel down, that's okay. If you have to keep your right knee bent, if you have to clasp your hands behind you instead of bringing your fingers to the floor, try your best to get your spine straight. Okay, so we're really feeling pyramid shape. It can look a lot of different ways. Like if I come up off my back heel, I might be rounded more over my right leg. If I can fold in and I have that flexibility, then we're in full pyramid. Good, take a breath in, breath out. And we're gonna build on this more. Bring the right knee to bend, left heel up. Okay, so we're in kind of a high lunge variation. And for those of you ready, you can take your arms behind you like wings and then sweep them all the way up to crescent warrior. Squeeze in through that midline of the body. Feel the lightness that you're bringing through your trunk. Relax your shoulders down your back. Breathe in, breathe out. Exhale, hands to the floor. Pivot back to the left heel. Turn the toes to wide end of your mat. Now we'll change sides. Pyramid to the left. Turn your left toes out. Come up off your right back heel. That's what's going to help you make that transition from the hips forward in wide stance to the hips in the narrow stance. So again, you have the option to bend that forward knee. You can keep the right heel up or bring it down. You can work the pyramid pose best you can for wherever you are right now. Again, we're building on all these over the next kind of 3 rounds. So it's slow flow all the way through the moon salutations, breathing, experiencing, stabilizing, and stopping and smelling the flowers, which means we're stopping and enjoying the pose. Each pose for what it is, for each part and piece that's being engaged. Good, so from here, bend that forward knee, come off the back heel, straighten that back leg, and I'm just bringing my weight over my left knee and thigh. Send the arms back like airplane wings, shoulders back, or let's say sparrow wings today. And then inhale, if it feels right, extend the arms up and come into your crescent warrior. So breathe in, breathe out, open up, shine. Exhale, take it down, both hands to the floor. Pivot back, left toes turn in, right heel comes down, fold in. And now we come back to our traditional moon salutation as we come back. So we're gonna turn our toes out. That means the heels come in. Turn our toes out, heels in. You got a deep squat here. Cross your arms. This is such a cool pose. So you cross your arms like kind of at your forearms and wrists. And then you sweep and take your arms out like you're soaring like a bird. And then inhale, scoop yourself back up to that goddess pose or horse pose. Okay, and this is where it gets intense. So take thumb and ring fingertips. This is the mudra of the earth, Prithvi. And just give it a couple little sinks and presses. And then connect to your pelvis and notice like where your sitting bones are. We want our sitting bones to kind of be like our heels. They're like an invisible anchor towards the earth. And you're kind of pumping down, letting them spread, and then squeezing them in. One more. And then stretch up. Reach, inhale, inhale, inhale. And then exhale, step the feet together back to kind of the center of your mat. And we'll do the opposite side. So I'm not quite center of my mat. That's okay. We'll adjust with our feet. Take a big inhale. Feet to fingers stretch up. Arms are coming in, shoulders are dropping down. Index fingers up to the sky, pointing, thumbs crossed. Breathe in, breathe out. Taking our time, catching our breath. Left side now. So here we go into crescent pose on the left. We're back here again. Yes, so push the hip out. Level your head. Find where your head is in relationship to everything else. And then give that little squeeze in the booty. Give that lengthen from the outer right edge of your foot all the way along the whole outer right side of your body. Shoot it out through your right fingertip. Inhale, come up. Exhale, opposite side. Yes. Press the pubis forward. So you feel like all the lower triangle of the two hip bones and the pubis are kind of like pressing. So that helps you feel this connection to your body front and back. Good. Let it unfold a little bit more. Push and lengthen out through the left foot, out through the left side of the body, out through the left armpit, out through the left fingertip. Good. Inhale, come center. Exhale, let's open up. Left foot steps out. I'm going to take a little wider on my right so I could do my thing here. Clasp the hands again overhead. This time, just turn the palms up to the sky. Shoulders shrug down. Palms press up. Fingers are interlocked. So I'm going to relax as much as I can my upper body with this palm pressing up feeling. And then I want again for you to kind of consider the toes, the heels, the feet, and play with me here. So pick up your right heel, set it down. Don't let your trunk change. Pick up your left heel, set it down. Pick up both heels, set them down. Do it again. So right, down, left up, left down, both heels up, both heels down. Good, and just a couple little pumps. 2, 3, let's do 4. That's more than a couple. And then inhale, stretch up. X marks the spot, releasing your arms out. And X. Left hand comes down, left thigh. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Turn your head where it wants. If it wants to look down, it wants to look up. Stretching beyond. If you need to push your hips a little further to the right, do so. Feel where the stretch is happening, like I'm getting it in my neck right now. So let that be a big plus that you're opening into an area that may be tight. Take a breath there. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, right hand comes down, left arm comes up. Stretch and reach. Push through the feet. Feel the pelvis, the bones of the pelvis connected by the legs. Upper leg bone, femur, lower leg bones, feet. More bones in our feet and hands than any other place in our body. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. And I got out of balance there. And then take your right hand, bring it across, left arm behind you, or this time if you want to leave your left arm up. We got our twisting triangle version here. Maybe our right hand comes down to a block or the floor. Let's really open it up here. Pushing into feet, stretching through the spine. Give it a nice big twist. Maybe send that left arm into a circle back a couple times. Good. From here, press into feet. Find your balance. Inhale, come back up. Pentacle pose. Exhale, left hand to right leg. Slide it down. Maybe grab your block. Right arm can stretch up or wrap around. Find where it works. Get your freedom. Get your space. Open up. Bless it. Bless the feeling of connecting and rooting down. And then also this expansion, this reaching into space. And then big circle through that right arm. lubricating the right shoulder joint, sending fluid through the heart and through our right arm. Good. Inhale and exhale. Before you press up, push through the feet, reach through the arms, reach into space. Big, bright, sunny starfish. And exhale, bend the knees, keep the toes turned out and the heels turned in. And then stretch the stretch the right leg, bend into the left knee. Oh, I'm getting so meditative, I'm losing my mind, which is probably a good thing. Right leg stays straight. We're in that half squat position. Now, if you're ready to go a little further, and you can use your block for support, you can come all the way down into a half squat on your left. Okay, and then if it works for you to bring your heel down. Okay, so this is traditionally where we come to. And if your body feels ready for it, sink in. If you need some support, you can take your block and put it underneath your butt so you can sit on the block as you work open the hips. This is less deep. If you have stuff going on with your knee, you may have to keep up. Right. Maybe bring the block in front of you and work here. Hold in. So just kind of think this is helping you open your ninja abilities. Stretching stealth through the body, right? So from this position, whether you're upright or down low, you have the opportunity again, if you'd like, to twist open. So I like to press my left hand into my heart, in this case, pressing the left elbow, upper arm into my knee, and then spiral open from here. And if my right arm wants to go back, you go more into a twist, and let that unfold. You'll find your best position. If you're upright, you can do that with a block. It's almost like a little variation on side angle pose. And then come back down. Let's all pivot into lunge. So right heel up, left knee bending on the front. We're more in a deeper lunge now, I hope. If you need to adjust to a deeper lunge, please do. And instead of coming into our pyramid pose, and I have to kind of get away from my lava rocks over here. So instead of going into our pyramid pose, we're going to go into a half moon. Because remember, we're dedicating this to our moon cycle, right? So half moon, we'll take our block, or we'll take our hand about a foot above our toes and about 6 inches out. Send the right leg back and stand on your left. This is a balancing pose. So you just start with bringing your arm right alongside your body. Flex your right foot. Lift from your outer booty to raise that right leg. And keep your gaze steady at the floor in the beginning. If you're good to go here and hamstring says, yes, we can go further, externally rotate your right hip open. So now your trunk starts to rotate to the outside of your mat. So half moon, we raise the right arm up, and we may even look to the sky for our balance. So breathing here. On your exhale, take the right arm back down alongside your right thigh, bend your left knee. And as you pivot back, you're going to land on the ball of your right foot back to that kind of lunge position. Frame the forward leg. And pivot back to center. We'll go into wide position from here. All right, I hope that was a graceful transition for you guys. So it was like back to lunge. For those of you watching, walk the hands back to center and then wide stance. Okay, did you notice I have my aid block on each side of my mat? I should have told you in advance, it really does help. All right, so now I'm going to go into my half squat on the right. So we're gonna walk our hands over to the right, bend the right knee, palms together at heart center. And then if the body gives you permission, Lower down into the deeper version. Maybe get the heel down. Pause. Stop and smell the roses. Or stop and smell the breakfast cooking. Anything that is available to you through your senses. Stop and listen to the birds singing outside. And then from here, if you want, you can adjust into a twisting version. Right hand to the floor or to your block, left arm up, maybe opening even further to let the heart spread. When I was on the other side, I came kind of low, the palms of the heart, and use that elbow to press in, to open up. So many ways that we can serve the body here. It's expanding from the spine and helping the spine realign from the base to the crown. And then coming back slowly, both hands to the floor, press back up and pivot to your right side of your mat. So now left heel is off the ground. We're in our high lunge. Feeling into the feet. We take our block, and you may need it on the highest version. Some of you lucky enough to be able to just plant the hand easily. So just go with where you are. Now I'm going to bring my block above about a foot and out about 6 inches. I'm going to push into my standing leg, my right foot, let my left leg float. So in the beginning, I'm not quite turning open because I want to get my balance first. So I'm lining the crown, kind of pulling up through the inner belly, lifting through my left leg, flexing left foot back. Left arm just rests alongside, and as it is appropriate, with breath and balance, we can open little by little. Allow the right hamstring to be respected, inner groin to be respected, as we come into our half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And when we're here, we're breathing, we're opening, we're spreading like that starfish again. Maybe even checking our balance by sending our gaze up to our left hand at the sky. Woo. Yes. Exhaling, left arm down along the side body, bending right knee, and then landing on that left ball of the foot, back to lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, pivot back, wide stance position. So we go into Prasarita Padottanasana. And let's go right through the center. Just bring it fold in. You can reach to grab your heels. You can walk your hands between your legs and through your mat, crown to the floor. Breathe and be in this beautiful release. Walking the hands back out in front. Fingertips to the floor. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, turn the toes out on both feet, heels in, bend the knees. Open the knees out in the direction of your first and second toe. So you're kind of going into that squat, cross at the lower wrist or at the upper wrist, forearms. Spread the wings, inhale, reach. Good. Exhale here, softly soar. And then inhale, pick yourself up, goddess pose, Prithvi Mudra. And again, realign to the pelvis connection, shoulder connection, sitting bones and heel connection, crown of the head in with the ceiling, and just a little pulse here. And inhale, reach, stretch out and up. X marks the spot. I am here. And then step both feet together. That's the push off. Palms together overhead, our last crescent before we release our moon salutations for today. So arc, let's arc left first. Inhale, center. Should be really easy now compared to that first one we did, right? Arc to the right. Give yourself a little smile as we've enjoyed these 2 rounds of moon salutation, slow flow. Inhale, center. And exhale, form a big, huge, beautiful rainbow over your head as you bring your arms back down to either side. And then pull them into your heart in prayer position. Bow to your heart. Feeling all your aliveness, the pulse of life through you, of prana flowing through you, of gratitude, of energy, of awareness of our tight spots, of what worked, what got stretched, what got open, what still feels stuck. Honoring all those working spots as much as you honor the spots where you feel really blissed. We honor our bodies as the temples for spirit to move through us. And we ask now for any remaining blocks and locked up areas to easily be released through our last set of poses. So let's start by just shaking things out. So we're gonna shake things out, shake out the legs. So we're just in a very regimented, sort of focused. And now we're gonna get into the other end of that, which is also part of the flow of dance, of the flow of movement, of organic energy. So shake out your wrists, shake out your legs, and then just start to kind of bounce from here. Feet about hips distance, maybe a little wider. Shake your arms out to the side, shake them out. Shoulder level, shake them above your head. Good, like you're at the best concert ever. And now bounce up and down. Now we're jumping. Jump, jump, jump. See if you can touch the ceiling. Keep jumping. Bounce off your feet. Spring, spring, spring. Get bouncy. On the count of 3, we're going to stop and reach. 1, 2, 3. Stop and reach. Feel the tingles on your fingers. Feel your heart energy. And then bring the arms out to the side. Palms facing open. And then take your fingers to your heart space. You're going to give little baby finger pounds to your chest and breastbone. Thymus gland. Up under the collarbones, upper nodes of the lungs. Breathing very deep. Up near the armpits. So I'm just kind of bringing my fingers into kind of a drumming. Fingers are wide. So I'm just drumming my heart. And now we're going to bring that drumming down into our ribs. So under the chest to the lower ribs. Lower nodes of the lungs. Out to the sides. And saying hello to liver and gallbladder. And maybe bring both hands over to the right side of the body. And their detoxification they're constantly doing for our body. If there's any anger, any resentment, anything stuck there, just allowing that energy to flow in, to release it, and then kind of pound through the center and over to the left. The stomach, spleen, and pancreas, blood reservoirs, metabolizing reservoirs. It's like this deep wisdom our body carries in the organs. They know what to do without us having to tell them, right? Automatic. All things, so much of our lives are automatic. The way the flowers bloom is automatic. We don't have to make them bloom. Let's go down now into the pubic bone and around the pelvis from hip to hip. So that whole lower triangle we talked about earlier. We're pounding just the front just to connect in reproductive organs, organs of elimination. And then you're gonna wrap it around to the sides and all the way back. And it may be a little harder to pound the sacrum. So if you wanna do soft fists, pounding the sacrum, doing the backs of my hands. Soft fists, soft wrists. Breathe in, sigh out. Nice energy work. So use those soft fists all the way down your legs and thighs, outer hips, back of the legs, around the knees, calves, shins, and then flat hands up the body, all the way around, butt, back, belly, chest, arms. And then back, upper back, neck, face, forehead, ears, head, and then sweep your arms. Sweep your arms several times. Just imagine like you're raking off any energy. Sweep the back down and sweep the legs all the way down the back. Good. Last part is our feet. So let's come to sitting. Find a comfortable seat. I have my pillows. Tilt my down. Oh, and if you have a drink of water now. All right. Soles of the feet together, knees splay open. We'll just be here for really a short time because we've done a lot of externally rotated poses, but we're gonna get into a little yin flow now. So I've got my pillow and my pillow is helping me. Let me just show you guys better. My pillow is helping me because I have a hard floor and I don't want my bones to dig into this hard floor. So I'm gonna make a little padding for them. Open the feet and give your thumbs the ability to massage those inner arches of your feet. It's been a while since we've done some foot massage in class today, or recently, so we're gonna do it today. And then press into each of your pinky toes. Okay, they just worked really hard to be our anchors today, so you can kind of see how the pads of the feet, little pinches, little presses. You can go through them 2 or 3 times, pinching and pressing. And then again, thumbs to the arches of your feet, the balls of your feet. And then all the way to your heels and ankles. So inhale, relax the shoulders down, sit up tall. Find neutral spine, pull back through your lower belly. Just sit in your center. Take a few easy breaths, just pausing, parking yourself in this shape. And then tilt forward. This is kind of the final frontier. And walk your hands out a little further if you'd like, off your mat or off the floor and out. I say this is final frontier because all the movements we've done within Moon Salutation have been a lot of external rotation, but also not with the knees so deeply bent, right? We kind of got into a lot of range of motion for the hips and the knees and the feet and the ankles, the spine and the pelvis. So now we're deepening into it. So if you can pull up and out of your low back, and hug back through your belly, lift up your heart, kind of do a little inhale arch, like you would for like cobra. You're pulling the fingers in and you're pulling the heart through. And then lower down through your elbows and see if you can get your belly down between your thighs, even just a little bit. And then when you're ready, you can just roll all the way in and kind of curl your back. So we're going into this very essential yin pose, butterfly. And we're going to be here for about 1.5 minutes, just silent space. And if you need to come out, or if you need to adjust, that's always an option.
Very nourishing for your kidneys. So if you need something to focus on for this minute, just take your breaths and bring some beautiful blue, cooling light, watercolors into your kidneys. So they live right below your rib cage, like kind of right on the inside of the lower ribs, on the back end of your body, just alongside your adrenal glands. So you can wash that area with your breath. So becoming even more passive, more receptive. So you're not doing the pose is doing you. So allow yourself to really take these last, we're going to do another 30 seconds here in full receptivity and full relaxation as much as is possible. That means also to let your belly go and move the breath down, down, down into the bowl of your pelvis, connecting the whole entire pelvic floor to the kidneys and the kidneys to the pelvic floor, feeling that lower triangle again, being washed with prana. Slowly raise your head up, walk your hands back, and take the right leg out to the side. We're going to do something not very yin light right now, which is kind of fun. I'm going to keep my foot here on the inside of my pillow just for extra stability. I'm going to do a little flip. So take your left arm back behind you, push your hips forward, and we're just going to counterbalance that with little hip openers, like almost like a flip gate. So you push your pelvis forward, lean back on your hands, spread, and if you want, you can open up the chest to the sky, and then slowly bring it down. We'll do the other side. So take your right foot in, your left leg out. And you can do this, if you have a nice cushion, you can do this without the pillow. Press the hips forward, lean it back on your right hand, and stretch back. So a little counter posing is nice, a very asymmetrical back bend after doing a very symmetrical forward hip stretch. Good, exhale, slowly lower down. Let it land lightly. Good, and we're going to switch onto our belly. So let's come back to our mats, belly down. Have your pillows handy because you'll want them for the next pose after this. So you can kind of start on all fours if you'd like. Press back through child's and then press forward onto your belly. Open your legs as wide as your mat. Elbows underneath your shoulders, palms on the floor. In a little Sphinx pose. So more passive than usual. If you want, you can press down through your elbows, lift your hips, and then set them back down again so you can really connect to the pubic bone.
Elbows are in. If you would like, widen the hands. So elbows can come in, hands can go wide to the outer edge of your mat like your feet. And you can either take this version, which is a but relaxed, kind of supported cobra pose. If this is too much on your low back, stick one of your pillows underneath or just above your pubic bone for a little belly support. And then for those of you who really love to go a little deeper with the back bend today, place the hands down on the floor, push down and come into seal pose. So straight arms, but the hands way out in front and as wide, at least as wide as your mat. Okay, so we'll take a minute here. And again, we're wanting to be passive. And in the beginning, you might find, body has to work to support itself first. So you want to feel like, there's no pain here. And as you work, you can kind of adjust externally, rotating the shoulders, broadening the collarbones, leveling the head, connecting where the pubis is, leaning forward, leaning back, finding what exactly that sweet spot is. And then when we're here, take 30 seconds to really let go of your muscular tension so that it's your bones and the earth holding you up. And that's what yin is all about. Releasing that muscular tension, going right to where you feel the bones line up, and then let the energy move from there. Earth, body, space around, space within. And the innermost practice is with the breath. And pulsing and following the pulse. That means the pose does not actually stay stagnant. You have stillness. But you feel the oscillation of the bones as your breath pulses through. It's actually very weight bearing and strengthening for the bones. So good to build that inner bone strength. And of course, yin is such an innermost practice. You want to come back through Sphinx for a few moments before we rest. Elbows will go out, hands will come in to form a little pillow for your cheek to rest. Pause. You're flat on your body on the floor. You may have your pillow still under you like I do. It feels so good there. And just let your back relax down towards your front and let your front relax down to the earth, kind of like a little mini Shavasana. And then turn your head so your opposite cheek rests and do it again. Let it go. Turn your head so your chin or forehead rests on your hands. Push down through your hands, lift your head up. And now slide your hands back down to traditional cobra position. Curl your back toes under. Push up through all fours. Wag your tail back as you sit back on your heels wide. So you can go knees wide, toes together, or feet and knees equally wide. And we're coming into supported child's pose. This is where maybe a bolster might come in handy. So you can kind of bring it up into your belly and just come into your supported child's pose from here, hugging your bolster or blanket or pillow. And you're folded now. You're folding at your knee. Tops of your feet are resting. You're folding at your hips. So you got several folds here. Become passive. Become receptive. And again, stop and smell the roses. Smell the calendula. Smell the jasmine, honeysuckle. Whatever is blooming for you. And then taking your head, turning it to the other side. And reconnecting into that resty place. Soften just a little more, rest a little heavier. Feel the breath flowing in the belly. Turn the palms down as you slowly raise yourself up. Transferring now onto our backs. So you may want to have kind of all your pillows and things out of the way, except for maybe one, which may be nice for support. I just gotta turn this a little bit. And checking my time too. Oh, good, we're in good shape, perfect. All right, so on your back from here, hug the knees in. Oh, my flowers. Hug the knees in. All right. So a little bit of squeeze in and out, releasing the back, inner groins towards each other. And then taking the arms out at heart level. So extending them out in a T shape. Okay, knees hover above the belly. On your exhale, let the knees fall to the right. Now, if you need something under your legs to catch them, let that be there. Or maybe even something in between your thighs. Let that catch. So again, we're doing a passive version of this twist. That means you have to let go once you're there. So you get there, that takes a little effort. And then you soften and let the earth hold you. Sometimes that takes effort too. The effort is mostly mental. So we have to let our minds be and not do. And as that happens, you'll feel your body kind of resting more, becoming a little heavier. And it's actually your heaviness and the resting against the earth, along with the natural movement of your breath, that's opening you up here. So remember, we talked about, we asked for, we prayed for any areas that were not, that were stagnant, that were stuck. We pray for those to open up and release. So this is a great place to meditate on creating that space, on unlocking the locks and unblocking the blocks and unraveling. Close your eyes. Soft, easy breathing. Lovely. And now on your inhalation, bring your knees up to center. Let the left follow the right or the right follow the left. And then let the left lead the way as you bring your knees to the left and let the right stack. And then turn your head opposite. You might have to lift your head up to turn it, but just turn it enough to where you feel you're not straining. And then again, reconnect to that, letting in the earth rise up to meet you. Oh, relaxing into the earth, remembering what it's like to be effortless and to allow the natural timing and unfolding of this bountiful, beautiful rhythm. It's automatic. So we just ride that flow. We ride that wave of breath. The waves pull us in, the waves push us out. The waves rise, the waves fall, they roll, they crash. So just riding all those different ways in which life happens with us and through us. There's always a way to go even more, to give even more, give over even more. So notice as you scan your body where there still might be tension. Maybe it's in your jaw, maybe it's in your throat, maybe it's in your heart space, maybe it's in your butt cheek. Any place that you find has something, go with your mind, talk to it, send it breath, send it love, send it light. Honor it, even if it wants to stay tight. And on your next breath, let the right leg start the process of bringing yourself back up to center. Bring the arms up to wrap and hug. Cross at the ankles, flex the feet, lift the head up, peel and squeeze, rounding in. And then exhale, release, switch sides. Cross at the ankles, maybe it's the right or over the left now. Inhale deeply. Exhale, lift the head, squeeze and round in, pull, hug. Let the belly sink down. Relax back. And then just swing the legs a couple of times, rock yourself up. If it's better for you to come to your side to push up, do so. And now we're gonna come to legs up the chair pose. One of my favorite poses of all time. Elevating the hips. So a couple things. You may need to put a blanket down. You may need to use the bathroom before we go into this pose. You want to make sure that you have a nice, soft landing place for your head. And I'm going to show you kind of how my setup is over here. So I got my blanket, I got my chair over here, I got my head here. So I'm going to put my mala back on because I'm going to put that right up against my skin. All right. So come to our wall or our chair. We're going to sit back, swing the legs up over the seat of our chair, up the wall, and bring our butt in as close as we can so the knees easily fold. We're going to bring our pillow under the head and open ourselves here again to receive. So this is our point of kind of like a shavasana for our day today. And we'll be here for about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more because I have a frequency to play for you. And if you're kind of coming in and after, maybe using the restroom or getting whatever props you need, don't worry, just come into the pose best you can. I'm going to return to this pose after I put the music on. You relax and enjoy. Viparita Karani. Let's see.
Now, love, at last I come in fullness rising over you. Let there be a new trembling under the cold, hardened earth, at the light play of my fingers and sighing in the valleys. Let there be the song of unfolding within your hidden petals, at the caress of my warm breath and undulations in the warming estuaries. Let the winged ones return to sing among your greening branches. Let there be heard swirling up to the joyous stars and over the newborn land, your aching, fiery song of yes. And as we enter back into the space of our room or our lanai or our garage or our RV, we notice and feel and experience this breath as the thing we're all sharing together with the flowers, with the trees, with the birds, with the bees, and the fertile land. And bringing your body back into little baby movements, flicker of the fingers and the toes, a shimmy of the legs, the neck and head, a reach through the arms or through the toes, and then a folding back in, only again to rise up whenever you're ready. So just like the blossoming of the flower, you take your time to allow that natural state of returning to life with this new space and new freedom, new openness, new reconnection to the love and the divinity that's already in your heart. And come back to a seated position. And as we sit in the stillness and the reverberations of our practice, we know that the practice continues on into whatever's in front of us. The light of our healing trickles back into our ancestors, into the hearts of all those who have brought us to this life now, and all the lives we have lived. And to our babies, whether those babies are from our flesh or from other ways in which we've taught and shared our knowledge, to the legacy that we leave of music, of building, out to the 7 generations beyond. Our seeds are scattered. Our pain and our suffering turns into compost to build new life, to return again, to transform and transmute. We honor this breath and this life by bringing our palms together in heart center. The center between the body and the head is the heart. It's the place where love flows. It's a place where we intersect, intercourse, interrelate, intercollaborate. We know we are co-creators with the universe, with our partners in the physical world and in the spirit world. We honor the parts and pieces of us that are all part of this unfolding that is our life. And we enter into our Dharma. Let the light guide us. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy. May all beings everywhere be peaceful. May all beings everywhere know the light of their true nature and live from it. May we be free. Namaste, y'all. Thank you for being here with me.